Hi, good evening. I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Town of Rocky Hill Zoning Board of Appeals special meeting for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. At this time, we're going to start off with the public hearings. I do see that we had the continuation from last month, but the applicant has requested to move that to next month, correct?
Correct, and I left the request in writing is on your
Perfect.
dais. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so next item on the agenda is Appeal 2020.
Do you want to make a motion
Oh,
to
yeah, can
accept the extension?
Yeah, can I get a motion, please?
Make the
Motion,
motion.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
okay, and that's a motion to extend the, continue until next month. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Nope, okay, that will be next month then. Okay, sorry about that, Ben.
It's all good.
Appeal, next item, Appeal 2026-01. If I could please have the secretary read the legal notice, please.
The Rocky Hill Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing following a continued public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, in the Town Hall Council Chambers, 761 Old Main Street, Rocky Hill, Connecticut, 06067, to consider the following. Appeal 2026-01, Christine McLean requesting a variance from the requirements of the Rocky Hill Zoning Regulations Section 3.E height and area requirement setback requirements to allow for 11.7-foot side yard setback where 15 feet is required. For property located at 103 North Condor Drive in a R20 residential zoning district, ID 08223. At this hearing, all interested persons may be heard and written communications will be received. Written comments may be directed to Land Use Commission at rockyhillct.gov and must be received at least 1 hour prior to the start of the meeting, or delivered to the zoning department at 761 Old Main Street, Rocky Hill, Connecticut.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to go ahead and have the applicant step forward, please, and state your name and address, please. Actually, I do want to start off with just a little housekeeping that any decision of this board can be taken to Superior Court within 15 days. Okay? Yep. Okay, go ahead and state your name and address, please, for the record.
Sure. Christina McLean, and it's 103 North Condor Drive, Rocky Hill.
Okay. And just explain to us what you want to do and your hardship.
Sure. So we're looking to do a 15-foot addition. Right now, we currently have like a raised ranch-style home. And we have 3 daughters, which 2 of them currently share a bedroom. So we are looking to do a 15-foot addition to add another bedroom. So she would have her own space of her own, and underneath we are looking to add another car garage, since right now we have one. So I feel like that would better fit our family as our needs are growing. And do you want to say anything?
So the back half will be a new master bedroom, and our current master bedroom will become a walk-in closet with a master bath.
Could you just state your name for the record? Thank you.
Ryan McLean.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open this up to questions from the commission right now. Commissioner Boyle, do you have any questions?
Yeah, just for me, clarification.
Sure.
You're the applicant. The owner is Joe Ramos?
Yes, he's my father.
Okay, so he owns the property?
Yeah.
Okay. He being the owner, shouldn't he be the applicant, or is it's irrelevant?
No, because the owner, he signed off on the
Signed off
application,
on the
so.
Okay, Joe Ramos on the bottom there, okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
And then on the application, it says setback, it says 2.5, then it's crossed out, say 3.3.
I adjusted that in the office to account for the overhang.
Okay, 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 all right.
Okay.
Has the neighbor, was it Peter Elgard? Has there been any letters, support, or objecting to this by any residents?
I have not received anything.
Have you spoken to any of the, to the neighbor? Any neighbors?
We speak with all the neighbors. Nobody, they knew we already were in talks with them like months before we even like actually finalized and went through all of this. And all of our neighbors are in full support. So we don't have nobody said anything to us negatively. So,
Okay, so the setback is 15, you're asking for 11, and there was no, sorry, I apologize, was there a height issue? There was a height, or no? No height. So just a couple feet, okay. Okay, I'm good.
You're good? Okay, I have to get used to everybody's name. This is going to be horrible for me. You're going to have to excuse me. Yeah. Commissioner Kaplan, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I'm good.
Nope, okay. Commissioner Pitkin, any questions, sir? No, okay. Commissioner Pickett, Secretary Pickett?
Yeah, so one quick question. If, I think I saw the property, and I believe that there's a driveway next to the garage, is that correct? Does that driveway, how wide is that driveway? Does that like currently go over the zoning area at all? Okay. And so that would be completely, like the addition you're looking would extend beyond that for reference?
Yes, it's 4 feet from the edge of the driveway on the side of our existing garage.
Okay. I
Can
think
I
that was
just
the,
clarify something really quick, too?
Sure.
Due to the property line, really the variance we're asking for is kind of towards the rear of our property. The front of it is, we're still clear per the 15 feet.
Yeah, it jets out
It's
as you go to the end,
it's-
yeah.
We got a pie shape on that side,
Yep.
and the other side is straight.
Yep,
So it's really only the back, I believe, 4 feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
That we're really encroaching over the 15 feet.
yep.
does that, do we have any like rules about if a property changes, like, in this case, right, it's within the setback and then it migrates outside the setback. Is there any specific rules that we should be aware of in that case?
I mean, there's zoning regulations pertaining to things like bay windows, appurtenances that can stick out up to 12 inches into setbacks, things like that. But as far as this goes, this would be a variance application like we're
And,
doing now.
one additional question. I think we went from like the 2.5 to the 3.3. So there's going to be an overhang of the entire building itself, the additional structure, right?
there's only an overhang like over the front and then on the back. But on the side, where we're doing the addition, it won't have an overhang.
Because it's a raised ranch, both the front and the back have a 2-foot overhang compared to the existing house.
So you're
So
going
that's
to
really
mirror
like-
the addition to
Exactly.
mirror the house.
Exactly.
So that's where they're getting the additional 2-foot
Okay.
overhangs
And
because
like
they're
that's
just
2
going to
feet
continue.
backward and an angle, and so you get the extra increase. So what we're looking at is probably going to be mostly like overhang in the setback, correct?
Yeah, and the overhang is the second story, to my understanding,
It's a
is the
second,
architectural
only the
design.
second story, because we have a 2-foot overhang on
Okay,
both
so
front and the rear.
The overhang is an actual like live-in structure, not just like a roof
Exactly,
overhang.
yep.
Okay, I was thinking it was a roof overhang.
So I believe our house right now is 24 feet wide, but with the overhangs, it brings us to 28. 2 feet on each side.
Okay. Yeah, no more questions from me.
Vice Chairman Bishop, any questions?
Yeah, I was wondering if you have looked into a different size of that addition that you're adding on, because you're only 3.3 feet away from being in compliance with the 15 feet. I'm wondering if you've looked into whether it be 10 or 11 feet addition, and what is the logic behind the 15-foot addition as opposed to something smaller that would be in compliance with the zoning regulation?
So I would, if I were to go 10 feet, if I go less than 15 feet, I would actually be creating a smaller master bedroom than I currently have.
But is it your intention to create another master bedroom or an additional bedroom for
Additional
you?
bedroom for my kid, plus the back half would become our master, and it would actually be a lot smaller than our current master.
How big is your current master?
I believe it's 15.5 by 14. I'd have to double check that, but it's the 15 feet proposed addition, it'd be basically the same size that we have now.
So you're essentially looking to replicate the bedroom that you have now, and you want to have an additional one for your daughter, you said?
Correct.
Yeah. And also going back to that, keeping our bedroom the same size as what we have now is ideal only because the size that we have now, our furniture fits that room with that size. If we were to try to make it smaller, I feel like the furniture that we have in, it would be so tight. So that's another reason why too.
So where's the master bedroom in relation to this proposed new bedroom that you're trying to add on?
It'd be right on the side of it. So the new, our master bedroom's on the back half of the house. The new master bath would be on the same, in the back half of the new proposed addition. And then the front room it'd be all three of our daughters' room, basically the same exact size.
And with the addition of this new bedroom, would it impact the shape, the structure, the entrance point of the current master bedroom that you two presumably sleep in?
No, we're just extending the hallway.
I think I'm good for now.
Okay. Question for staff. Ben, off the top of your head, just kind of going off of the other commissioners' heads, the size of the garage, is there stipulation as to the size that because you're adding on actually an extra garage, right? An extra bay to the garage?
On the back half, yep.
On the
On the
back.
bottom half, I mean.
On the bottom half, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're changing it from a one
To two.
garage to a
Yeah.
two-car garage. Is there any size as to what that bay has to be?
I mean, that's a building code question. I thought it was a minimum of around 10 feet is what you needed,
Okay.
width-wise.
Okay.
But that's just for the door, so that doesn't include framing.
Right. So it
structural
could possibly go
insulation, that
to
kind of
at least
thing. It
like a
could be up to-
12, 13 foot?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you looked into that as well with the width of the door, as far as,
Yeah, our architect is gonna.
right,
I
yeah.
mean, he's waiting on this right now to
Yep.
give me any
Right,
type
yeah.
of finalized stuff. And the way the architect's doing it, we're gonna make the house basically look like it was built like that. We're not doing anything crazy, it's just it's gonna look like it was built like that back in whatever, 70s or 60s it was built.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have no other, I'm not really, opposed to this, so, any other further questions? Nope. Ben, do you have anything to add to this before I?
I'm not really, I mean, I know the applicants have come in, I mean, I think they first came in months ago, so they've been doing their due diligence on this and working with us, so,
Okay.
yep.
I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing on this, please?
Motion to close?
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. Okay, so we'll close the public hearing. Thank you. We'll go ahead and discuss further and, okay. Next item on the agenda is new business. Again, it's Appeal 2026-01. Christina McLean requesting a variance from the requirements of the Rocky Hill zoning regulations. Excuse me. All right, can I get a motion on this, please? Let's start off with,
For new business, is
Right.
it strictly a vote?
yeah, right now, what we're going to do is, this is our opportunity to discuss amongst us, put it to a vote. If we're ready to vote, we can go ahead and add friendly amendments to it, if we have any friendly amendments, anything like that.
Okay, yeah, so I was a little bit interested in the discussion part.
Sure, well, then what we can do is, we can go ahead and put it to a vote, and then we'll always have discussion before we actually, or
Okay.
we'll put in a motion, then we can have discussion before we actually vote.
Okay, so you make a motion before
Yep.
you have discussion.
So make a motion to accept the request by the applicant to allow the variance.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and discussion. now we can go ahead and discuss of any concerns that you might have.
Yeah, so, and this can just be amongst ourselves. Just have
Correct,
to-
this is amongst us, yes.
So I think that I would be curious, what does our application look like on the form? Like, Ben, maybe you could share some insight on this, but when you were submitting, like, what information was presented to you as being required to give to us?
Well, at this time too, we can't really
Oh, we can't?
engage
Okay,
with the.
so what
yeah.
does our application form say?
As far as,
So the reason I ask is I kind of want to get ahead of this issue in the future, but I feel that there might be a lack of clarity on what hardship means. Now, I say that because you've described, the applicants described some really good things that I would like to know and like to act on. But I'd also wonder, like, if they were maybe not prepared to tackle or address the actual concerns that the law sort of requires ZBA to address, if that makes sense.
I mean, the application has what a hardship is, paperwork.
It does?
that come
Okay, that
with
was
it.
essentially the
Yep.
question. Like, does it clearly state what a hardship is? And
It's also, I mean, it's not up to, staff can't tell them what their hardship is.
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
so,
I just wanted to make sure that it was like clearly stated what the hardship was, so that there was like, no daylight between the different sides of it. Okay.
Right, but depending on that too, is we can also take that into our own discretion too.
And that was,
So, yeah.
that was a sort of second issue I wanted to get at, where, and this maybe should be a discussion for another time, but the question, like, how strictly we want to follow, the strict legal guidelines versus enabling the town and making sure that we keep people happy. But I want to just raise that as something to bring up in another meeting, probably in like an executive meeting. That was all.
Okay. Okay, any other further discussion? Okay,
My concern with my concern with the hardship, this seems like a very de minimis variance that's requested, but a de minimis variance is still, for personal convenience is not permitted. My concern in showing the hardship here is that, by granting a variance in this situation for something that's for personal convenience, that, we're creating not a precedent because it's not a court, so it's not a legal precedent, but, my concern, is over this, and I'm wondering, and the reason I asked the question the way I asked it, was there a different measurement addition that could be added? If that would be beneficial, just to avoid the whole variance to begin with. And I'm not sure that query was necessarily satisfied, when asking.
okay, they're valid points. I will give you that. And like I said, the hardship, yes, it is in the regs. And depending on the situation, I mean, and I'm not trying to sway anybody or anything. We all have our own opinions, yes. So yeah, both your opinions are very valid and everything. So we all have to vote by what we feel is right. But the hardship, depending on what it is, like if they wanted to go to like a 6-inch setback, then I would say, yeah, no, that hardship, what is the hardship? To go that close to the property line, this, yeah, we're looking at, and it's at 12, it should be at 15, so we're looking at about 3 feet. And it's to interpretation too. So
That's one of the
yeah.
things I wanted to address, like maybe an executive function, like where without taking up the public's time.
Right.
We go in and hash out what sort of metrics we want to have amongst ourselves, because
Sure.
I don't think that this is the really proper place to do that. And I think
No,
there's a lot of
I
discussion to be
agree.
had.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Ben, is that something that you can set up and,
Yeah, we can set something up for that.
okay. Is my thinking correct on what I've been saying? I just want, your feedback on this too, please, considering you are basically the expert on this, this is, so.
Well, and it may sound like a cop-out answer, but I mean, every property is different, and
Yeah.
every property is unique, so there's going to be a unique hardship to possibly to each property. So, it's up to it's up to you all to, decide whether it's a valid hardship, what the ask is, or it isn't.
You know, when I look at homeowners that are looking to improve their home, improve the value of their home, improve their life. I think to your point, what we're looking at here is extremely minimal, and it is not affecting anything in the neighborhood, the surrounding area, the houses, et cetera. So, yeah, they're all unique situations that arise, and, I think in this case, I think it's extremely minimal. But look forward to the conversation you talked about, maybe moving into a homeowner knows up front what those are, and, maybe those discussions can be had. But I just think in this particular case, the impact to it's this property only, and they're improving the value of their home and the homes around them. So,
One more question for Ben.
Go ahead.
So the applicants can appeal to the Superior Court. If we approve, though, is there any standing for other people to try and overturn an approval based on, the fact that maybe we didn't prove a hardship? I don't think so, but I'm just curious if there is.
I mean, someone could appeal your decision to Superior Court,
Yeah, but that would,
whether it's in the affirmative or it's against.
yeah, that's probably a really a fringe of a fringe case.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's a fringe case in this instance. I think, and excuse me, this is the pain in the you-know-what lawyer in me. Connecticut case law has been consistent as to what I talked about, de minimis variations for what some may deem as personal convenience. The variance that's being requested has to be unique to the property itself, not something that's particular to the homeowner, to a property owner. It has to be unique to the property, meaning that the shape of the property creates a hardship to have a homeowner who, and I can certainly understand their desire for the addition, given their burgeoning family and needing the space to do that. But that is what I think the Connecticut courts would classify as a variance for personal convenience. And that's my concern here. And I would personally would feel better if we had a neighbor here, the neighbor immediately on the side of the requested variance, who was here to speak to this. I have no reason to distrust the applicants. They say that the neighbors are good with it. I'm not calling them out and saying that they're less than honest about this.
Right.
I'm just saying I would personally feel better if we had either a written statement or witness testimony, because if this was appealed at Connecticut Superior Court, I think they would find this to be a de minimis variance for personal convenience that would not be necessarily be upheld, because the variance requested is not unique to the property in question. So that's my only concern here. I hear the arguments, or not arguments, but I hear the positions being taken by my fellow commissioners as to wanting to improve the value of the home, value of property, and most importantly, the value of this family's life. My concern would be upon an appeal, if, let's say, a new neighbor moved in, or let's say a neighbor currently did not necessarily agree with the variance that was granted. I think it would be a situation where the court would likely overturn this commission.
First of all, there's 15 days. They have the 15 days. Second of all abutting property owners were given the chance to either come in person for or against the variance, or email Ben or staff against or for. So they had, the abutters have been given that opportunity. My thinking is, okay, nobody has come to speak for or against, and nobody has emailed Ben for or against, because if somebody had, he would have obviously put it with our packet. My say is, okay, the neighbors are good. They're fine with it, you know? And like I said, if somebody is against this, they have 15 days to bring it to Superior Court. Okay.
Is failure to speak taken as affirmation of support in this instance?
No different than failure to speak as a opposition to.
Correct.
I think you'd respect that.
Yeah.
I don't think
Right.
it's appropriate for us to be speculating what a court would or wouldn't do. So I just caution us to be not taking us too far here with legal speak.
Yeah.
We're the zoning board of appeals. We were elected.
Yeah.
These are our fellow.
That's what I was saying. Like, we should, in an executive function, we
Yes,
should hash
discuss
out
that.
these understandings.
Yes.
And
And
just to
go
the
ahead.
unique hardship, I would say that the pie shape, to me, if you want to be, if I was taking the lawyer approach, that is a unique property or a unique feature of the property that does make it like, you don't want a weird like slice at your house.
Right.
It makes sense that you'd want a consistent house design, and so that does strike me as a unique property, because if you want to make any sort of addition, you're going to run into that issue on this side of the house. Like the property does cut in
Sure.
that way. You would have to angle it to be within that setback. So I do consider that a unique, to me, right, if we had to have a unique hardship, that is our out, right? We would say like, yeah, there's a weird pie shape. It compromised the design of the structure. To me, that is a reasonable enough one, as long as we focus on that and like agree that basically, the family is not relevant to the conversation. I'm sorry, but the shape of the property is such that you can't make a meaningful addition to the house that is consistent with the design and the structure.
Right, okay. And Daniel, don't get me wrong, you know, we appreciate your comments, and having a lawyer, I'll be honest, having a lawyer is going to be a little different for us, you know, but it's a welcome different, you know? Yeah, so no, please don't get anything that's being said. You know, again, foremost, we're for the town, we're for the applicants, so as far as we can go. Believe me, there have been times where we have denied many applications for variances. So it's not a slam dunk, you're going to come in front of this board and get approved, you know, so,
Right.
yeah.
And
so.
I don't want my comments to be taken as a vote for no. I
get it, I get
simply
it.
want to have a discussion
Sure.
as to variance, because I know how Connecticut courts have interpreted the term, and they've been very strict as to what it is and what it isn't. And I agree with Commissioner Boyle on this, is that, you know, speculating as to what a court would or would do is a little bit presumptive, a little bit cart ahead of the horse, on that, because we're not in that situation. And as Chairperson Zach points out, you know, there is a 15-day window.
Right.
So I do appreciate those points, and as I said, as a pain in the you-know-what, I am determined to live up to my.
No, that's very good. We're happy to hear that, so. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, can we go ahead and put this to a vote? Can I hear all in favor?
Madam.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, if I may request that a vote be done by roll call vote as opposed to an aye, just so we are clear as to the members.
Sure, I don't see a problem with that. Were you going to say something, Ben?
I was just going to make sure you do a motion to, in the
We
affirmative.
got a motion.
In the affirmative. I thought that was, okay.
You
all
got
right,
a motion to
okay.
accept.
My bad.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote. Commissioner Pitkin?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Pickett?
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Bishop?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Boyle?
Yes.
And my vote is yes. Okay, that is unanimous. Congratulations. You will get a letter in the mail with the variance information, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you for coming out.
Nice seeing somebody that takes care of their family, too. It's nice seeing somebody that takes care of their family.
Yes, yep, definitely.
Thank you, have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Guys.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda, we don't need anything on the old business that has been tabled to next month. Okay, any other business? Ben, do you want to take care of this ratification of the election of officers?
Yeah, so you should have received a legal opinion in your packets. Did everyone receive that, correct? Okay. Regarding the election of officers from the last meeting, the legal opinion, I'm going to sum up. The legal opinion appears to state that the election of officers was fine, is good to go. But if there was any doubt, we can ratify the elections from the previous meeting, just to kind of settle anything. So I put it on the agenda. If we want to do that, we just need a motion to ratify the election of officers and then a vote to approve.
Do we want to just have a motion if it's going to be to remain same, or, do you want, either way?
Yeah, I
Get a
mean, it could be a
that way
motion
it's
to ratify
officially
the
on the
election
table.
of the 12/16/2025.
Was there a doubt? Was there a request to ratify?
You might want to bring the whole,
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, don't we need some form?
I'm sorry, Dan?
Don't we need something ahead of time?
No, Ben will go ahead and explain.
this is regarding the election of the
Agreed.
nomination and election of officers for, as far as chair, vice chair, secretary from last meeting. So,
Can I get a?
I mean, if anyone has any, questions or concerns about it.
I would just raise a point, and that's not to upend the apple cart here. It's to say that, in my estimation, I felt the election of officers was a little bit chaotic. And the reason I asked for a roll call vote for this was because I think that contributed to the chaos was the mumbling responses, half hand raise, half, nods. And I think, this is not an effort or attempt to change how things were done, because I think this commission, all 5 members showed remarkable bipartisanship in doing this. We're the majority members of this, and we have Chairwoman Zach in that role as a minority member of the voting council. And I think that shows that this commission can put the town of Rocky Hill first. And act accordingly. I would just, moving forward, would ask for similar roll call voting to make sure that we have clear votes, whether it be on decisions like that or on the appeals that are before us, just to have clarity to everything that this commission does.
Okay, so just for clarification, I'm confused. Is the question about ratifying the election of officers, or is your question about roll call procedures for future votes? These are two separate things.
There was no question. There was no
Yeah.
question raised. It was.
I'm just confused what we're talking about.
No,
here.
there's no-
Ratification of
there's no-
officers or roll call?
No, there's no question raised. There was an invitation for discussion, from my understanding, by the chair, and I wanted to make that point. As to moving forward, if there's a motion to ratify the
Future votes?
Yeah,
for the officer.
Yeah, okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a point
No,
that,
that's
it's
fine.
a point that
Yeah.
we're making while we're all together.
No,
since-
that's
yeah.
fine. That's fine. Okay,
so are we,
can I get a motion on item 4, any other business? Anybody?
what is the,
Ratification of the election of officers on 12/16/2025?
that's what I was asking for before, so we are looking. okay.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to ratify
This is coming from the legal opinion, so that's why, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
just,
that's
I'm
why I
rolling
asked the
with it, yeah.
question, was there a need to do it?
There was not.
I didn't see a need.
There was no binding nature
Right.
to it.
No.
So I don't,
So, but I think just to get it on the record, that everybody is okay with the way that the election of officers ended up,
I think ratification doesn't hurt.
that's fine with me, yeah. Okay, so Sean made you can do the motion?
make a motion to ratify the elected officials.
Okay, can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, you okay with raise of hands? Or do you want, yep.
Roll.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Well,
What?
Aye.
thought we wanted to do roll
Yeah, I was going
call.
to say, why don't we stick with the roll
You
call?
want to stick with the
Yeah,
roll call?
let's-
stick with the
Okay,
roll call.
all right,
let's-
we'll
yeah,
stick with
let's
the roll call.
that. Yeah.
Trying to minimize my pain in the, you know what?
No,
to-
it's not, no.
meeting Tonight.
Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Pitkin,
Yes,
Commissioner Pickett,
Yes.
Commissioner Bishop,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyle,
Yes.
and my vote is a yes. Okay, thank you, everybody. I appreciate, and thank you for the kind words. I really do take that to heart. Thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approve action taken in minutes. These are for the two meetings, the September 16th, 2025 meeting and the December 16th, 2025 meeting. Since Sean and I were basically the only ones there at the September 16th meeting, were you guys able to watch the video from the September meeting?
Yes.
Yes?
I neglected to. I
neglected?
spaced on that.
Okay, Mr. Pickett? No? Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to table, can I get a motion? We're going to go table the September 16th meeting, and we can go ahead and vote, get a motion for the approval of minutes, please.
I will say that I think we have the majority to
We
vote
need
on that.
4.
We need 4, okay,
Yeah.
to ratify minutes,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, the majority in this commission is 4.
Okay.
Okay,
Unless it's for automotive location approvals, and then it's 3.
unless it's for what?
Automotive location.
Oh,
approval.
okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
all right, thank
maybe
you.
we'll get there.
So let's take this in two pieces. Can I get a motion on the September 16th meeting to table?
I'll make a motion to table September 16th meeting.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay. Roll call vote? Okay. Commissioner Pitkin?
yes,
Commissioner Pickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Bishop?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyle?
Yes.
And my vote is a yes. Okay, so that will be tabled for next month's meeting. Can I get a motion on the December 16th, 2025
the
meeting?
motion to accept the minutes from the
Okay.
December 16th meeting.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion? Okay, none? All right, let's go ahead, roll call. Mr. Commissioner Pitkin?
Yes,
Commissioner Pickett?
Yes.
Commissioner Bishop?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyle?
Yes.
And my vote is a yes. Okay. And can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Got it. Second.
I'll second
Got
that
it.
motion.
Okay. No discussion? Okay, this is going to be an all in favor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.